Okay, attack and defend. We're rocking 3 courts with 3 on a court. Here we have AJ, who's a 275 UTR, Mason, who's about a 2.5 UTR, Sully, who's about a 3.5 UTR. So in this game, the single person feeds, and he's the champ. And they feed a ball that these guys must decide if it's attackable or not. So AJ's taking that in.
That's 3.
Good try, that's okay. You gotta go big, right? If you're taking a short ball in, you better go big or hit a drop shot, right? Yep, here we go. You got lucky there, that was a bad drop shot. We gotta develop the feel on the drop shot. Most of the time we're gonna drive it to the corner, right? Or the middle. That's a tremendous play, Mason. Good job. Mix up your feed so we have some true decision-making going on whether or not it's attackable. So I'd probably take that in. Slice approach, love it. And nice. Anybody notice how if you make a good approach, you usually win? Refusal. That was a tweener. But that's okay. You have the right of refusal. Just like in regular tennis, you can hit that and stay back. But that was a tweener. Then you miss that one. That's okay. Nice. Oh, sick. Very nice, AJ. What's up, guys? We just got done with that practice at the Front Range Academy, and I'm on a tennis court in another part of the town right down the road. You can see the sun setting over Lake Loveland and our beautiful mountains here in northern Colorado on the Front Range. Front Range Academy, love that drill today. We call it attack and defend. That drill has everything that the 1980s traditional lesson does not. You know, it's got everything. You know, the 1980s traditional lesson involves the coach feeding and a kid hitting into an empty court, and that drill has the context, not even a drill, but we'll say drill, but that drill has the context of an opponent on the other side. It involves problem solving and independent thinking by the player. Remember, the coach's role is to provide the problem and have the student's role answer it, and and problem solve and provide the solution. If we tell kids where to hit and where to recover, we're dictating, and we're not teaching them how to be independent thinkers out there. So again, in attack and defend, I want no more than 4 players per court. In that example, you saw 3, which is even better. And in that example, you had a 11-year-old that's a roundup 3 UTR. You had another young kid that's a 2.5 UTR, and you had an older kid that you could see, a high school player here, that is a 3.5 UTR. If that 3.5 UTR was dominating, you could change the point structure. But in that situation, in attack and defend, you have the single person as the champion and the other 2 or 3 receiving the ball. The single person that's a champ always feeds. And then there's the decision-making with the other kids. They can refuse it. If it's not attackable, they just say no or kick it to the side of the fence. If they choose it to be attackable, if they deem it attackable, they come in and play the point out. The single person that's feeding is the champ. If they get to 5 before the other kids get to 3, then they reset to 0. If the kid receiving the ball gets 3 points before the single person gets 5, then they become the champ. And if let's say that 3.5 UTR was dominating, well, you could change it to where he needs 6 and the other kids need 2. So you play 1 point, win or lose, and step out, but there's very little standing around. And we tell the kids that pretty much all good players will take a short ball and come into the net and or maybe hit a drop shot, but should attack and probably drive a short ball deep to the corner or down the middle or whatever. So attack and defend, unbelievable game. I mean, literally perfect. I mean, as good a game as you can have for kids. The only drawback to what is a perfect game in my mind is it doesn't involve the serve and return a serve. But guess what? Right after that, we immediately did some serve points. We did some tie break. We did a little bit of bump and serve points and tie break, river, and allowed kids to move up and down and play different kids with serves and told them to incorporate what they learned in that exercise into actual serve points. So the only thing that's not perfect about that game is it doesn't involve the serve or return a serve. But we call that attack and defend, no more than 4 players per court, single guy's the champ and feeds, and the returners have to deem if it's attackable and either refuse it or come in and play it out. And we usually say 5 points for the single person to have everybody reset to 0, or 3 points for the people receiving the ball for them to become the new champion. and then you can also bump it up too. So just a fantastic one. Your kids may or may not be the level that I had out there today. I had a roundup 3, a 3, and a 3.5. In the summer, I could do that with a couple 6s and a 7 and adjust the points as needed. But it's a great game for a variety of skill levels. You can do that with a college team. We called Attack and Defend. Hope you guys liked it. We'll catch you on the next video.